We have a quorum, so I will call the meeting to order. It has been properly noticed. Like I said, we have a quorum. Director Parsons, will you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. All right, I'd like a motion from somebody to approve the agenda, please. I see Donna moves. I see Pegmore seconds. Is there any changes or additions, deletions, corrections regarding the agenda? Hearing none, I will go ahead then and assume that the agenda is approved, unless I hear differently. All right, moving on. Approval of the minutes, December 16th, 2025, the regular open meeting, and the January 2nd, 2026, the agenda prep meeting. I'd like to take them both together. Can I get a motion to approve both of them together?
So moved.
I heard Peg Moore first, and I heard second from Ruth Johnson. Are there any corrections or changes regarding either of those sets of minutes? Hearing none, I will then go ahead also and assume that it's passed by the board. All righty, report of the chair. I only have one thing that I want to share with everybody, and that is that on the 28th of January, 28th? Is 28th Wednesday? 28th is Wednesday of next week. We will have the first town hall of 2026. The town hall will be held in the Performing Arts Center, and the reason it's being moved there from Clubhouse 2 is that we expect a fairly large turnout. It will be to discuss and update everybody on the Ting project. The Ting project is the fiber optic installation, and also there'll be discussion about DirecTV. So all the questions you might have about what does this mean for me? What does this mean in terms of the impact on my home? What about West Coast Internet? All of those kinds of things. We'll have a presentation by VMS staff, and we do expect also some Ting people to be present. And you'll be able to ask any and all questions that you have. So I invite everybody to the Performing Arts Center on Wednesday the 28th, and it starts at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And that's the only thing I have from the chair. We're ready to go now to the open forum. At this time, members may only address the Board of Directors regarding items that are not on the agenda and that are within the jurisdiction of this board. The board reserves the right to limit the total amount of time allotted to the open forum. A member may speak only once during the forum. Speakers may not give their time to other people. No audio or video recording by attendees, and no rude or threatening comments, and specifically no specific names. If you're unhappy with people in the VMS staff or something, this is not the proper forum to identify anybody by name. Do we have any speakers?
We do. We have 4 in-person speakers. The first one up is Chris Collins.
About the foundation, update us on the foundation. Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. I'm Chris Collins, 3306Q, and I'm here with another update on the work that the foundation does on behalf of residents who are experiencing temporary financial crisis. Thank you. 152 is the holiday number that you helped. 152 is the number of village residents that needed a helping hand and received holiday cheer this year because of you. This is possible because many of the village residents, clubs, churches, and service groups have supported the foundation during 2025. Excuse me. Working with social services and South County Outreach, the foundation provided grocery cards so each of the 152 could enjoy a special holiday meal. For them, that meal might not have been possible without your support. Your generosity also fueled a remarkable 28th year for the foundation. And because of you, we continue to deliver emergency financial assistance for residents in need. There are things like grocery cards, Meals on Wheels financial support, scholarships for Alzheimer's daycare services, transportation to the food pantry, fall prevention classes, emergency response devices for fall risk residents, hearing aid financial assistance. In fact, this past year, the foundation also initiated a new public education program, which we called Planning for the Unpredictable. And this is to help residents become emergency prepared. With the help of VMS support, we developed newspaper and email announcements, a special emergency preparedness brochure, public service announcements, and a televised interview series. In addition, we continue to support the Good Neighbor program, which was to encourage club activities to bring residents together and build community. We want to extend our heartfelt thank you to these generous clubs and groups and religious organizations who provided special support during this past year. Agape Indonesian Fellowship, Ceramic Casters Club, Chicago Club, Chinese American Club, Friends of Bridge, Joyful Christians Club, Men's Golf Club, Needlework Club, Potters and Sculptors Club, Republican Club, Rock and Rollers, RV Wheelers, Sewing Supers, the Bocce and Social Club, Table Tennis Club, Taiwanese Club, Village Macintosh Club, Women's 18-hole golf course. So what are you grateful for? At the foundation of Laguna Woods Village, the answer is clear. We are very grateful for you and your incredible spirit of generosity that defines this community. Every gift, large or small, makes the community stronger. We look forward to the new year, and we celebrate the simple truth that guides everything that we do, and that is neighbors helping neighbors. So if you want more information about the foundation or you want to donate, there's the foundation of LagunaWoodsVillage.org, which is our website. And then our email is foundationlwv@gmail.com. So thank you.
Thank you. Next.
Next speaker is Juanita Skillman.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm here today on behalf of the History Center. And I'd like to, first of all, clear up a couple of misconceptions about the History Center. The History Center is a separate 501(c) corporation. It is not part of the village. It gets no funds from your association dues. It is built on land that is leased from GRF, but the building, which is separate from the library, even though it looks like it's attached, was designed, built, and paid for completely by what was then the Historical Society and is now the History Center. It was designed specifically for archival, which is very unusual these days. Most archives are an old building that they take and remodel and put stuff in. This one was designed for archival storage. The other thing that's different that a lot of people don't realize is Clubhouse 6. There are so many rumors about Clubhouse 6 and what it is and what it isn't and whatever. Clubhouse 6 was never a private residence for anyone, members of the Cortese family or anyone. No members have ever lived there despite persistent rumors to that effect. So what is Clubhouse 6? Back in 1976, Roscoe Cortese had a try it before you buy it concept. And what he did was they built Clubhouse 6 as a hospitality center for their Vacation Village program. There were 70 new but unsold manors that were completed and furnished to accommodate prospective buyers. By agreement with the board of directors of the Golden Rain Foundation, these guests had access to general community facilities. They wore passport guest badges, and they had special buses that were not part of our bus system that took them around. They were provided with activities at this new hospitality center, which became Clubhouse 6, that was used for meals and sales presentations and Saturday night dances. They also, Vacation Village accommodations were extended to political, financial, and socially prominent VIPs from the Rossmore Corporation, who at that time had their headquarters at what is now the Taj Mahal Medical Center. Didn't work too well. In 1975, the program was discontinued, and the vacation village, Rossmore, was sold. The clubhouse, what is now Clubhouse 6, and the surrounding land to the Golden Rain Foundation. Clubhouse 6 was remodeled in 1999 to be a clubhouse, not just a hospitality center. And its catering kitchen was re-equipped, and a stage was opened up and brightened. Many different facilities were added into it, which make it the facility that we have today. So 2 things to know about the History Center, but there's lots more, folks. Come to the History Center and you will be amazed at all that you can learn about this lovely area that we live in. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Valerie Nillen.
Good morning. I live in 4026 in Gate 13 and 14. And the building below us, 422, had their roof redone with this white plastic coating. And it has not worked out for us. It's a terrible sight for us to look down on. And I also took a picture of 4017 with the same roof, and it is clean. So I have reported to resident services about this, and they tell me that when it rains, it'll wash itself down. It doesn't. The gravel just comes up. I need someone to come to 4026 and look down from our building to this terrible site we have to look at, the roof of this building. And I expect it's still under warranty because it only happened like in the last less than 2 years. So can I leave the photographs with somebody
Sure.
here? or-
Please give them to the secretary.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, final speaker is Robert Stees.
Good morning, board members. Thank you for all your service and what you do. It's appreciated. I have 2 issues. I live at 2381 Via Mariposa West. I'm in 3D. The walkways were sealed about 7 years ago. There are cracks that have opened up in the walkway. There's going to be dry rot, and the walkways are going to fail. When people are moving heavy refrigerators or getting new heavy things put in, the cracks are substantial, and they're all over the 3rd floor. They need to come in and reseal it before, because that water is penetrating into the wood, into the supports, and it's going to fail. It's not a case of if, it is going to fail. So I need the board to somehow get it done, to get that resealed. The other thing is the gate is broken on gate 6, the right gate arm. It's been broken for weeks. It impedes entrance into the village. Cars are actually in via Campa. They're blocking the street because there's so many cars trying to get in. So it needs to be, they need to get it fixed. The middle one works. The right one does not. So I'd appreciate it if you'd look into it and see what can be done to get it expedited. Thank you for your help.
Thank you.
And that is all for open forum.
Okay. First of all, Chris Collins, thank you very much for your presentation of the foundation. You guys do wonderful work, so thank you very much. I know a lot of residents do very much appreciate all the support you guys provide, so thank you. History Center, kudos, and thank you for the history lesson on Clubhouse 6. I had no idea about it, so thank you. All right. As for Ms. Nillen, you gave the pictures. You'll pass that on to the appropriate VMS staff for them to look into the issue that you raised about the roof. And as for Mr. Stace, the issue of the cracks in the walkways, that'll also be referred to the appropriate VMS people to have them check out. As for the gate issue, let me just share with you and everybody else. We have had 28 gates hit by people in a 90-day time period, knocking 28 gates out of commission. We do not have the parts to keep up with that kind of situation, and we have to also bring in an outside vendor to do the repairs when that happens, so some of it's related to the outside vendor, but it is an ongoing problem, and there isn't any quick solution to it. They're working, certainly they know about it, and they're working as quickly as they can to get the replacement parts and fix the gate. But like I said, when you have 28 gates in 90 days, it's a problem that the whole village is experiencing. But we'll have them take a look at it and see when they think they may be able to fix that problem for you. All right, anybody else want to respond? Go ahead. First, we'll go with Steve Parsons.
Yeah, for you on the gates, are there specific times you see a big backup?
Frequently during the day, commuter time, mornings and
Okay.
late afternoon. But it's virtually two streams that are going into the street.
Yeah.
You can't get through. There isn't enough volume. The gate is not broken, it's just up. So the mechanism evidently is a problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
The arm is not broken. Thank you.
Ed?
I know at one time we looked at the gates opening earlier when you drive up to them, because I know so many of them, you come so close. What was the outcome of that, Bob?
We've had numerous presentations by the staff experts, and they are timed the way they should be timed to allow a vehicle to get through and then for the arms to close so the next vehicle can't follow through without showing ID or using their RFID. So they are the way they were designed to be.
But you really have to drive up and on them. I mean, I know I have to.
Well, just as a matter of information, Gate 10 had recently been hit, and the new replacement, now it's about 4 or 5 feet before, as opposed to previously, you had to drive right up, almost right up to it. Now it's 4 or 5 feet.
Oh, that's good. Can we do it for the other ones?
I'm just telling you what happened with that one. So they were able to finally make that adjustment.
That's right.
All right. Okay. Anybody else comments? Thank you all for your comments. We appreciate hearing from the members. Okay, moving along. CEO report.
Thank you, President Muchnick, honorable members of the board and our audience. I just want to share some quick updates with you this morning. Following up on President Muchnick's comments, what I wanted to provide is an update on the Ting Fiber project. And the most important fact here is we just wanted to share that we've exceeded the year-end goals for pre-wiring and installation. And you'll see the favorable column. We finished the year a little bit ahead of schedule, which is good news. And then on the next slide, these are the milestones for 2026. And you'll see that installations were not intended to progress at a uniform rate. We are scaling up our installations. For instance, there are almost 3,000 planned for the first quarter and about 4,000 planned for the second quarter. This phased approach was implemented to allow for initial resolution of any challenges as we started the project, process refinement, and so forth. So there will be additional installation teams deployed to support the increased installations. With the new year and the anniversary of the LA fires upon us, we want to remind residents to enroll in OC Alerts and Everbridge. Alert OC is Orange County's official emergency alert system. It sends countywide alerts by phone, text, and emails. And Laguna Woods uses Everbridge, which is our village-specific alert system. And this covers things such as gate closures, traffic, and community instructions. We may also amplify Alert OC messages with added village details when necessary. We encourage residents to sign up for both systems, and you can do this by visiting the village website, scrolling to the footer at the bottom, and clicking Sign Up Today under the Alert OC and Everbridge logos. Locally, we want to remind residents about residential fire safety. Unfortunately, we've had 3 OCFA responses for stovetop fires in the last 30 days. So we want to take advantage of my time this morning just to remind everyone to be careful when cooking, to remove things from the stove before leaving their units. These are pictures of those recent fires. Fire extinguishers and can help with home safety. We defer to the Orange County Fire Authority on this, but they recommend that fire extinguishers can help fires from escalating if you have the right kind at the right place at the right time. OCFA recommends keeping one in your kitchen where common house fires start and another near the home exit to allow for a safer getaway if flames are close to the entry point. Per the Orange County Fire Authority, multipurpose ABC extinguishers are recommended for home use. A means the device can extinguish fires from wood, cotton, and cloth. B fights fires from flammable liquids such as cooking sprays. And C means it will extinguish fires resulting from live electricity. The OCFA recommends the PASS technique for using an extinguisher. Pull the pin, aim at the base of the fire, squeeze lever slowly, and sweep from side to side. Please visit ocfa.org for fire extinguisher and home safety information. There's an instructional video for a fire extinguisher and lots of safety flyers available in various languages on the website. And as a reminder, always call 911 and ensure you have a clear exit route before using a fire extinguisher. And as various scams are escalating and scammers are becoming more creative, I want to conclude this morning with tips on avoiding mail scams. Please be on the alert for fake delivery notices. These are emails or texts pretending to be the Postal Service or FedEx, asking you to pay a small fee or update the details of a missed package, often with malicious links. Government impersonation, scammers posing as IRS and Social Security or law enforcement demanding immediate payment for fake debts or using threats of arrest. Prizes and sweepstakes, letters promising large winnings but requiring upfront payment of taxes or processing fees. Also be on the alert for phony inheritance lottery, emails or letters from foreign officials promising vast sums if you pay initial fees. Brushing scams, which is receiving unsolicited packages with cheap items from unknown sellers to generate fake positive reviews. And there would be a link for you to click to post those reviews. Grandparent and emergency scams, letters or calls claiming a loved one is in trouble and needs immediate funds. Gift cards and wire transfers are typically asked for. The last one is a newer scam. It's a glue trap. It involves thieves placing sticky rodent glue traps or other sticky substances inside a Postal Service blue collection box to snag mail, especially checks and gift cards as they fall in. To protect against mail scams, shred all mail, do not click links, never send cash or gift cards, and verify by calling back. If a call seems official, hang up and call the organization using an official number. Experts also encourage that you take mail directly to a postal worker at the post office. Deposit mail in newer high-security collection boxes. Those are the ones with the narrow slots and not a pull-down door. Drop mail as close to the final pickup time as possible. Use gel pens or permanent markers to write checks, as they're harder to wash. Pay bills online or sign up for direct debits to avoid mailing checks. And there are a number of places to file complaints with the FTC, the Postal Service, and the California Attorney General. If you visit our website and go to the news tab, you'll find all these links and contact information if you have a complaint to file. And that concludes my update this morning. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Okay, next item on the agenda is the consent calendar, where we take whatever items there are, all as one. Can I get a motion to approve the consent calendar? I heard Peg move, and a second, I see Director Parsons seconds. Is there is no discussion about the consent calendar, so we'll go ahead and just vote on the consent calendar. I'll assume that the consent calendar is approved unless I hear differently. Okay, consent calendar is done. Now we'll move to unfinished business. Item 10A, entertain a motion to approve the revised common area use policy. This was originally placed on 28-day notification back in December, so now it's up for a final vote. And I will ask our secretary to please provide us. I don't think you need to read the whole thing since there's really only one change in this policy. I think if you acquaint the members with what the change is, we can move forward from there.
Okay. He's being kind because it's 4 pages long, and I'd like to keep everybody awake. So the primary change is that the current board allows for mutual homeowners associations to change the policies from time to time. And this particular board has determined that they are not going to allow any use of common area for personal use for building, such as walkways, your own plants, any extension into the common area. So if they allow it in the particular case, which is up to alterations and the board, that a license agreement must be signed. I will read what it says. Such agreement shall provide, among other things, that the owner-manager agrees that the area altered in any dimension or manner shall remain exclusive use common area, licensed for the exclusive use of the manor owner, but shall not also become a part of the manor's separate interests. The agreement will also require that the manor owner shall assume the responsibility for ensuring, maintaining, repairing, replacing, and restoring the area containing the alteration, and shall agree to indemnify and hold harmless the mutual for any and all claims pertaining to the alteration. Would you like to say any more?
Yeah, the only thing I will say is the part that I was referring to, that we're making a change in this policy, has to do with what's called like-for-like replacement. Currently, if you have, for example, a patio, and you have an awning over that patio, and that awning needs to be replaced, right now, there's only a like-for-like replacement. Under the new policy, the change in the policy is that we will allow a like-for-like equivalent. So if the awning is old and outdated and you want to install a new awning that's of a different material, or you want to go to a different manufacturer, you can do that. The only requirement would be that it be like-for-like equivalent and that it be the same dimensions as what you currently have. That's really the major change in this policy at this point in time. Having heard all of that, can I get a motion to approve?
Can I just add one more thing? It also, the determination whether it's like for like or like for equivalent is made with staff consultation.
Right. Okay. Director Parsons?
Yeah, I'll move to accept.
Okay. Second is Hopkins. Any discussion now about the motion?
Moon has his hand raised on Zoom.
Okay. Director Moon, what do you say?
I was moving, so I'm all for it.
Oh, you were moving it. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much, Director Moon. All those in favor?
Oh,
Go ahead and vote on your screen, and Moon obviously indicated he was voting yes. There's always one, Howard.
I broke it.
For those of you watching at home, we're waiting for
Oh my God, here it comes.
Director Fox's screen to come up. You can vote now, Director Fox?
I can't, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Let's see. How'd I do?
Okay, nine in favor, motion passes. Okay. Next item on the agenda is to approve a motion to enact the alteration of accessibility policy. This was originally put on 28-day notification. It is now up for final vote today. Do you want to give us the highlights, or do you want to read the thing? Or?
I'll just, this, excuse me, this resolution is an attempt to ensure that that property that is empty.
No, this is accessibility. This is the accessibility policy.
Okay. I'll just read this. This is a short one. Resolution 0326XX, alterations accessibility policy. Whereas the Third Laguna Hills Mutual recognizes the need to amend policies and create new policies as necessary. And whereas members have expressed concern over the time required to fulfill the variance process for common area accessibility improvements to their manor. And whereas the Mutual, through Resolution 03-18146, adopted and implemented the Common Area Use Policy, which remains in effect for all alterations not contained within the proposed alterations for accessibility policy. And whereas that the Board of Directors determines that California Civil Code Section 4600B3 subsection F allows the approval of alterations to take place on common area to accommodate a disability. Now therefore be it resolved, January 20th, 2026, the Board of Directors of this corporation hereby adopts the alterations for accessibility policy as attached to the official meeting minutes, and resolve further that the determination of whether a proposed accessibility alteration meets the criteria set forth for the alterations for accessibility policy shall be made in conjunction with the ACSC, which is Architectural Control and Standards Committee, for the full board. And resolve further, appeals may be made to the Mutual Board, whose decision shall be final and made in the Mutual Board's sole and absolute discretion. Resolve further that the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out this resolution.
All right,
So move.
Director Parsons moves. Second was Peggy? Okay, I saw your hand, but I heard a voice. Director Parsons moves, Director Moore seconds. Is there any discussion about the policy? Hearing none, we can go ahead and move to vote.
Moon, do you want to
I'm
let us know?
opposing.
You're opposing?
Negative. Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
I won't,
Why?
All right, vote passes 7-1. Okay? Next item on the agenda is to entertain a motion to approve the revision to the interior inspection of unoccupied manors. This was also placed on 28-day notification back in December, so it's coming up today for final vote. Madam Secretary, if you would read the motion, the resolution, please.
It's another long one, but this is the correct one here. Resolution 0326XX, unoccupied manor inspection policy. This is to protect you as residents and owners from any issues that might arise with an unoccupied manor, such as a leak that will affect your unit. So basically, the key point is a resolution. If a manor remains unoccupied for longer than 6 months, and for every 6-month subsequent period, a notification via email or mail will be sent to the manor owner, informing them of an upcoming manor inspection per the unoccupied manor inspection policy. This notification will provide an overview of the inspection process and will include a copy of the current policy. Resolve further that except in case of an emergency inspection, in which case the mutual or representative thereof may enter without prior notice to the manor owner, the mutual must provide a second and final written notice via email or mail to the owner of record of each manor that is unoccupied and presumed to be unoccupied a minimum of 15 days prior to any inspection scheduled to be carried out in a manor in accordance with this policy. And those are the key points. I'd like to remind those in the audience and people watching on Zoom that all of these resolutions are online. So if you care to review them, or you don't quite understand them, or you've forgotten what we said in the meeting, they are available immediately, as are the meetings. It'll save me some reading time.
Okay. Can I get a motion to approve, please? I see Parsons' hand up first. I see Director Sosak,
Second.
up second. So we have that. Is there any discussion about this motion about unoccupied manor inspection policy? Director Parsons?
Yeah, just to go along with this, to remind people that they can bring in a key and leave the resident services. So if it's needed, the staff can get a hold of it and get in without having to go through a procedure of getting in elsewhere.
And that procedure
By the
getting
way,
in would be bringing in a locksmith, having a
Yes.
locksmith open it, having a locksmith replace the lock, and then that expense being charged to the owner. Thank you. Anybody else comment or question?
Moon has his hand raised on Zoom.
Moon, please. Director
Yeah,
Moon.
Yeah, after we inspect, what we gonna do? We don't have any, just inspect, or we have something, what we wanna do?
I will ask Director Grimshaw to please come forward and answer the question. Did you hear the question? He said after the inspection, now what?
And good morning. After the inspection, a report is created. It's a fairly detailed report that may include pictures. That report is then sent to the owner. If there are repairs for that report, the owner then has a certain period of time which to make those corrections. If there is an emergency situation that staff deems needs to be taken care of immediately, that will proceed, and those charges will be charged back to the member or the mutual as appropriate. Then the report itself will then go on record for that matter.
Director Moon, does that answer your question?
In a way, but if, when we inspect it, and then the condition is, problem to neighborhood or next door, then it needed to be fixed or corrected, immediately or ASAP. And I think Alan said we're gonna send the inspection report to the owner, and then owner may respond or not respond, and then the problem may be not solved. So we need to put some kind of provision. What we're gonna do if that is damaging to neighbor or next door.
Director
Or let's say they have rats in it, or some kind, what we're gonna do.
Director Moon, if it was doing damage to the unit next door, that means then it was also doing damage to mutual property. And therefore, we would take steps at that point. Once we identified that kind of damage, we would take steps to repair that damage ourselves and send the charge for that repair back to the owner. Is that correct?
Correct.
Does that answer your question?
If that provision is in it, I'm okay. Otherwise, I'd like to put that in, in this the resolution.
Yeah, it's in here. It does allow for us to enter on an emergency basis, too.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anybody else, questions or comments? Thank you. Hearing none, can we vote, since we have a motion on the floor?
Moon, are you voting for?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the vote is 8 in favor, no noes. Motion passes. Okay, thank you very much. We now move on to the last item of unfinished business, which has to do to entertain a motion to approve licensing agreements. This was placed initially on December 28th. It's on 28th-day notification from December, and we'll ask now that you please read the resolution.
Resolution 0326XX, License Agreement and Alteration Fee Schedule. Whereas approvals of alterations that meet the requirements of Civil Code and existing mutual standard and policies for installation in common areas, exclusive use common areas, and limited common areas requires the execution of a license agreement. And the required agreement should be prepared by the mutual's legal counsel to ensure protection of the mutual's interests. And whereas alteration and variance request require significant staff time for proper processing, including research, report preparation, presentation to the appropriate committee and board, and whereas several tasks are performed in conjunction with alteration and variance requests, namely plan check changes, mutual consent inspections, correction notice re-inspections, and license agreement. And whereas, in according to account for the staff time processing the task above, the board has adopted 2026 alteration fee schedule. If you read this online, you will see that there is an attachment to this which defines all of the fees from alterations. And this also provides for an annual review of the fees to make sure that they are consistent with the time spent by alterations and VMS in approving these agreements. As of January 2026, the board hereby adopts a flat legal fee in addition to any adopted fees in the third alteration fee schedule of $300 for the preparation of any of these agreements as a pass-through charge from the mutual's legal team and shall be incorporated into the alteration fee schedule. The staff preparation time for license agreements shall be $50 or as noted in the third alteration fee schedule. And unless noted, all other fees listed on the alteration fee schedule to remain unchanged. Resolve further that Resolution 0325-150, adopted October 21st, 2025, is hereby superseded in its entirety and no longer in effect. Further revisions to the alteration fee schedule will be reviewed and undertaken as one cohesive resolution every year with board approval. Resolve further, the officers and agents of this corporation are hereby authorized on behalf of the corporation to carry out the purposes of this resolution.
Can I get a motion to approve?
So moved.
I see Johnson moves, a second. I see Parsons seconds. I'd just like to state for everybody who's listening that this is actually an improvement. Under the old system, the license fee from the attorney was $750, and that was passed on to each of the members. In a change in the way we're doing business, and with a new attorney, the license fee has been reduced from that $750 to $300. So that's a $450 actual improvement savings for you, the members. So I just wanted to make sure that that was understood. So even though it says $300, it's gone down from $750 to $300. Any other comments, questions about this resolution? Hearing none, can we go ahead then and vote, please?
Moon, can you provide your vote?
Yeah, yes.
Thank
My
you.
Raising hand is not
Okay,
coming up.
thank you.
Okay, motion passes 8 in favor, no noes, no abstentions. Motion passes. That concludes our unfinished business. We now have new business, which, believe it or not, we do not have any at this moment in time. So now we will move on to our committee reports. The first one we'll go to is Director Fox and the Finance Committee.
Thank you, President Muchnick. Okay, are we ready for the slides? Well, this is slide 1. Through the reporting period of November 30, 2025, total revenue for Third Mutual was $45.5 million compared to expenses of $43.6 million, resulting in net revenue for the 11 months of $1.9 million. When combining both operating and reserve revenues and expenses. This table takes the full income statement and compares those results to budget, reflecting a favorable year-to-date net revenue variance of $2.6 million. Slide 2. Okay, this slide shows the most significant variances to budget, and they were attributable to insurance, $1.3 million favorable due to savings starting in June for Third's 2025 property insurance renewal. Property insurance is estimated to end the year $1.6 million favorable to budget. Outside services, $610,000. Favorable variance primarily in landscape due to mowing cycles being moved to in-house labor, and in maintenance and construction due to no contingency funding being needed for full copper pipe replacements through the reporting period. Additionally, the landscape prior to paint program was favorable due to delays stemming from a greater than anticipated volume of dry rot repairs and weather fluctuations which postponed landscape work. Offsetting the favorable variance is a larger than anticipated amount of chargeable damage restoration expense for moisture intrusion. Third would be the fees and charges for residents, $511,000. This is a favorable variance, primarily due to higher damage restoration revenue for moisture intrusion than anticipated. Investment income favorable by $300,000 due to higher than anticipated rate of return on investment balances. Then we've got materials and supplies. And this is $261,000 favorable, and this is primarily driven by maintenance and construction as the exterior paint program schedule was delayed due to inclement weather and unanticipated dry rot work. The scope of dry rot work was too large for in-house crews, causing most larger repairs to be outsourced, which lowered carpentry materials expense. For the exterior paint program, 4 out of 8 cul-de-sacs have been completed through the reporting period. And the one unfavorable shown is utilities and telephone, and that's due to higher water usage rates and trash rates and electricity rates than anticipated. Okay, slide 3. Okay, on this chart, we present our non-assessment revenues earned to date of $3.6 million by category, starting with our largest revenue-generating categories of investment income, chargeable services, lease processing fee, laundry revenue, permit fees, and so on. And I really don't have anything more to say on that. let's go to, this is screen 4. And what we've got here, the expenses to date of $43.6 million by category, starting with our largest categories of employee compensation and related expenses, outside services, utilities, insurance, and so on and so forth. Slide 5. What do we have here? We keep a very close eye on the operating portion of our financial results. The operating fund shows a surplus of $914,000 through the reporting period. This table shows how much of our revenue went into operations, with $29.1 million coming in from assessments and $2.3 million coming in from non-assessment revenue. This is compared to operating expenditures of $30.6 million, not including depreciation. Slide 6. Okay, this slide shows non-operating fund balances on November 30, 2025, which total $36.1 million. Year-to-date contributions, interest, and fund transfers totaled $14 million, while expenditures were $12.9 million. This table shows us that our non-operating fund balance has increased by $1.1 million overall since the start of the year 2025. And slide 7. Okay, this bar graph shows us the non-operating fund balances to historical fund balances for the past 5 years, which has averaged $32.8 million. Third Laguna Hills Mutual has been committed to supporting reserve requirements and having more contingency funds for unexpected events. And then the final slide. Let's see. We have a slide here that shows the resale history from 2003 through 2025. Through November 30 of 2025, third resales totaled 316, which is 7 less than the prior year for the same time period. The average year-to-date resale price for a third mutual property was $624,000, which is $2,000 less than the prior year for the same time period. And that is my financial report. Our next meeting is on February 3rd, 2026 at 1:30 in the afternoon here in the boardroom.
Thank you, Director Fox. Next up is the Architectural Control Committee. Last met January 12th. The meeting had only one agenda item, revision to the Standard 11A, interior flooring for second and/or third floor manners. The staff recommendation was to amend sections 3.1 and 3.1A of the standard to both increase efficiency while maintaining the goal of the standard. To accomplish this, the two sections that have been amended are designed to remove the need for a mutual consent and the applicable mutual consent processing fee, and to replace them with a mutual registration form. The registration forms will be recorded by the manner alterations in the community database for reference should an investigation be undertaken into flooring selections affecting sound transmission between floors. So this will actually show a savings to anybody who does new flooring. They don't have to get a mutual consent. There's no processing fee. So we see that as an improvement for the residents. Next meeting of the ACSC is February 9th at 9:30 here in the boardroom. Next up is the M&C. Director Karimi, who's chair of the M&C, was able to be here with us today, so he's asked me to give the report. Last meeting of the M&C committee was January 5th. The focus of the meeting had to do with issues with the Garden Villa buildings. Previously, the M&C committee had asked the Garden Villa Association to review the breezeway seepage study and to provide the M&C committee with a list of the possible solutions and their estimated costs. The Gardenville Association came up with a list of 11 solutions. After discussing the possible solutions, the M&C committee asked the Gardenville Association representatives to take back to their members the list and ask them to rank order them in terms of perceived importance. In addition, topics related to the garden villas included a presentation by the VMS staff about fire sprinkler inspections and the presentation on the rain gutter cleaning schedule. Finally, a discussion about garden villa dry rot repairs, emergency versus scheduled, took place. The next meeting of M&C is scheduled for February 2nd at 1:30 here in the boardroom. Next up is the Landscape Committee. Director Parsons, if you would.
Thank you. Next month, we are going to be, having a briefing on the KPIs for landscape. Looking forward to hearing that. It's an annual thing. Next, bring you up to date a little bit on dethatching. That's what started over in Gate 6. Different problems have been worked out with the contractor. They're performing well. They're picking up the pace, and they still plan on being completed by the end of April of this year. Some other good news is off-schedule tree work for working on trees and taking off excess was down to 44 trees this time versus 117, I think it was last month. So that's working well. And I just want to remind people about stepping stones. This has been brought up, I think, at the last meeting. We've talked about it at different times, and just want to reiterate, before you do anything with stepping stones, be sure you check the current policy out. We've had a discussion with a person recently that hasn't gone so well, but the person, I think, now is getting the message that they have to follow this policy that's in place. So that completes my report, and the next meeting is February 5th, 2026, 9:30 here in the boardroom.
Thank you, Director Parsons. Next up is the report of the Water Conservation Committee. Director Rain Sotsak.
The Water Conservation Committee meets quarterly, and it last held its quarterly meeting on October the 30th. I want to call your attention to the finance report, where we heard that in terms of utilities, actually the only negative revenue side in terms of not meeting budget was in utilities. And rates went up for electric, trash, and water, so there's nothing we can do about that. However, the only area in which usage also played a role was water. And so there's something we as residents can do about that, so I urge all of you to attend the next Water Conservation Committee and look for announcements throughout the year that we're planning. And the next meeting will be held on January 29th, which is next week at 2 p.m. right here in the boardroom.
Thank you, Director Rain Sotsak. Next up is the Resident Policy and Compliance Committee. That last met November 26th. The full report was provided at the December board meeting. The next meeting of the Resident Policy and Compliance Committee is scheduled for Wednesday, January 28th at 9:30 here in the boardroom. And next up is Director Yun with the report on the Garden Villa Recreation Room Committee.
Garden Villa Recreation Room Committee met October 29, and everything was on the budget and online, everything, and there was no issues at all. And the meeting adjourned without any problems. And the next meeting is March 18, 26. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Yun. And that's going to be 1:30 here in the boardroom for that Garden Villa Recreation Room Committee meeting. Next up, we have the GRF Committee highlights. First, we turn to Director Fox, who will talk to us about the Community Activities Committee. Director Fox.
Thank you, President Muchnick. Okay, so the Community Activities Committee last met on Thursday, January 8th, here in the boardroom. And let's see, it was a long meeting, and it was spirited, the subject matters, but the main matter that we went over, which took like forever, it seemed, was going over the operating rules for Recreation and Special Events Department. And we went over page by page, department by department, line by line. Anyway, we finally finished all of that, and the committee came to a consensus, and we approved it. And now we're on to bigger and better things, which means longer and longer meetings. Other than that, it was uneventful, the meeting. The next meeting, I think, is February 12th.
1:30 here in the boardroom. Thank
Yes.
you, Director Fox. Now, next up, Director Fox, you're still up. You're going to talk to us about the village traffic hearings.
Village traffic hearings, my favorite subject. We're keeping everybody in line, and we're making sure that nobody speeds and nobody runs the stop signs. At least that's our goal.
And nobody hits the gate.
And that's beyond us. That's another committee's department. We refer it out. Actually, not much to report. It's it's all private. We don't divulge the names of the people who are here committing these crimes. Even though we don't report it to the DMV, it doesn't affect their record. It does affect their record within the village. So we're on watch for you and doing what we can to make sure it's a safer place. That's my report.
Thank
the next
you.
meeting is tomorrow morning, but none of you can come.
Can I make a comment on this?
It's a closed meeting. Director Parsons.
Yeah, I know it's not in our purview, but you may have some influence, both here and GRF. But I've noticed over the past 2 months, there's a lot of people running the stop signs at gates, going into gate 10 and 11. And it's out on Santa Maria. But, some people come there, they don't even pay any attention. And sooner or later, there's going to be some accidents down there, I'm afraid.
Is
So I
that
just wanted to make you aware.
outside gate 10 and 11?
Yeah, right at the entrance.
The only problem is that we have no jurisdiction over that.
Yeah.
That's a city street, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I could say the same thing about where I live. I live on Via Carrizo, and people drive up and down that street 50, 60 miles an hour. And if it was up to me and I had any say in the matter, I'd put speed bumps on the street just to jolt them a little and maybe slow them down. A lot of the people who are written up for running stop signs and speeding happen to be in front of my house. So I sit there, go outside, and I watch, and I see all the people I'm going to see in the next few months come up here to try to explain themselves away. And
Thank
they
you.
never do.
Thank you, Director Fox.
Mr. Chair.
Next up.
Mr. Chair.
You have a question?
Yeah, in any of these meetings, have you discussed, I'm sure, thanks. In any of your meetings, have you talked about just putting cameras and taking pictures instead of adding staff?
That's not the traffic hearings. Court.
Well, every speeding ticket is accompanied when they come in here with a video. And we see people come in here, I said this last month, they come in here, they're all hot and bothered, they're going to explain it away and how we made a mistake and they're not guilty. And the first thing we do is the officer reads the statement, and then we show the video with the radar. And it shows them blowing through the stop signs or going down the street at 50 miles an hour. And you watch their face while this is playing, and you see the color come out. And it's like, okay, now it's your turn. We've shown you the evidence. What would you like to say for yourself? And almost every single person says, I didn't realize you had video. And that's usually, it's one person after another.
Okay.
Same thing.
Director Hopkins.
Yeah, I was just wondering, I know it's a GRF function, but could we have some statistical data that maybe staff would come in and give us some statistics on stop sign violations and speeding, et cetera, divided by mutual? It would be just very informative, I think, for the residents to hear as well as us. And has there been an uptick? I anecdotally, I notice a lot of things you're noticing as I walk a lot. And so I'm just wondering if we could have some statistical data that would
Director
support
Moore.
that.
A lot of that comes under security and community access, which I'm on with GRF. So I would bring that up.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, next up is disaster preparedness. Director Parsons.
Okay, nothing much has happened since our last meeting on 30 September 2025, but I would encourage everybody to come to our meeting that's scheduled for January 27th this month, 9:30 a.m. in the boardroom, and make your concerns known and listen to what's presented. Thank you.
Thank you. Next up, Director Johnson, GRF Maintenance and Construction Committee.
Yeah, our last meeting was December 10th. It was reported on previously in December. Not much interest in the subject at this point. The next meeting is February 11th at 9:30 a.m. in the boardroom and also virtual.
Director Fox, GRF Finance Committee.
Me again? Well, okay, let's see. I know, it's so much fun. Okay, so the GRF Finance Committee, we had our first meeting of the new Finance Committee, I don't know, December 17th?
Right.
And what did we talk about there? You know, it escapes me. We really didn't talk about anything of any importance. It was really just discussing where the committee wanted to go and the chair of the committee laying out his vision for what he'd like to accomplish during his term. And other than that, there was just an overview of administrative details.
Okay, next meeting is January 21st at 1:30 here in the boardroom.
Correct.
Okay, moving on, we now go to Director Hopkins with GRF Mobility and Vehicles Committee.
We have a meeting coming up, but the last meeting I reported on, it was a couple of months ago. It was, they wanted to make some changes in the bus schedule. We delayed those changes until further analysis, and we should be coming up with a decision this next meeting. And so the next meeting is, I didn't realize that.
February 4th, 2026 at 1:30 p.m.
Thank you.
Here in the boardroom.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is GRF Landscape Committee, Director Rain Sotzak.
The GRF Landscape Committee meets quarterly, and it held its last quarterly meeting on November 17th. It was reported at last month's meeting. However, I do want to just say that repeatedly we hear concerns from residents about Aliso Creek and wanting our landscape folks to do some trimming and maintenance of things. And that really is controlled by California Fish and Wildlife. And our folks can only do what they are permitted to do. So they really pay great attention to it, but there are limits. And so I just thought we hear it enough that I thought maybe I should remind people. And our next meeting, quarterly meeting, will be held on February 11th, right here in the boardroom at 1:30 in the afternoon.
Thank you. Next up is the Space Planning Ad Hoc Committee. This committee last met October 20th. However, while the committee hasn't met in quite a while, I think it might be worthwhile to remind you of what took place 3 months ago. After many years of discussion, consideration of various plans, etc., the committee, by a vote of 4-1, approved a motion to recommend to the GRF board that a design contract of a new Building E be provided that would provide workspace for security, landscape, and maintenance services, administrative support staff be awarded. At the December 2nd meeting of the GRF board, the board approved an RFP for Building E. So finally, after years, there seems to be some movement, at least to try to resolve the issue. Currently, there are no scheduled meetings for this committee. Next up is the Information Technology Advisory Committee, Director Hopkins.
Yes, we last met, it's a closed meeting. We last met on October 31st, just to get an update on where we stand. The next meeting is January 30th at 1:30. It is, again, a closed meeting. We get an update from the vendors as to what's going on and where we are. But the progress has been excellent, and so we're seeing results of it. It's kind of underneath the covers, so to speak, but we're seeing the results of it. I think staff is very pleased with their ability to provide a more efficient service to us.
Thank you. Next up is the GRF Broadband Ad Hoc Committee. This committee last met on December 10th, and during the CEO's report, you heard an update on the Ting and the installation, so I won't go over any of that. The next meeting of the Broadband Committee is scheduled for February 23rd at 9:30 here in the Community Center. And that takes us next to...
Wait, can we, one question on the,
Broadband?
yeah. Like last night or 2 nights ago, all the internet went out. Oh, yeah. Right? It was out for like 12 hours.
Correct.
And that was a problem with Southern California Edison, from what I understand.
Correct.
Is there anything that can ever be done around, when Ting is here and West Coast is gone, are we still subject to Southern California Edison?
Do we get any credit?
I'm
when
nodding
that
my head
happens?
yes.
You're
The
nodding
answer-
your head yes.
The answer is yes, we're still subject to the issues related to Southern California.
But if we had, just thinking outside the box here, if we had solar and we were self-contained in some way, would we be beyond the scope of Southern California Edison? I'm just a hypothetical. I don't even know if it could even be done.
Okay, well, thank you.
You're welcome. I should get out there and give my 3-minute talk, right?
Okay.
I just have a question.
Director Johnson.
On top of that, when that happens, do we have the ability to request credit from them for the damage? I mean, a lot of people really rely on having electricity.
It's overrated.
So I'm curious whether, I know when we have cell phones, if you didn't have service for a while, you could request credit.
We can check on that. I'm not sure. I've never heard them giving us
yeah,
credit.
No.
We can check.
Wasn't that outage more extensive than just Laguna
Newport,
Woods?
went up to Newport. It was-
Yeah.
Yeah,
So it wasn't a community issue, it was a
Correct.
area.
Right.
all right, moving along, next have,
Could I just make a comment on that?
on the
please?
broadband?
What happened, the event that happened yesterday. I called in and ultimately, stayed in the queue and got a call back saying there were many thousands of calls that they had to respond to. And I'm wondering, wouldn't it be possible to send an email or a text to people who live here in Laguna Woods?
email
If the
out.
internet is not working,
Email won't work.
email won't work.
How about text?
Text won't work either.
Nothing, okay. I don't know, I was.
Sent. It's just some people were not able to get it. A message was sent.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
Text was working.
What?
Not for me. No, just,
And it was nice.
okay. GRF Security and Community Access Committee, Director Moore.
Yes, one of the things that was set aside was any look into non-member participation at the gate. So they will always have a gate individual there. There will be no looking into not having them. One of the other things that has come up is 38% of the tickets that are given are for running stop signs. It is a constant complaint. Oh, thank you. It's a constant complaint on the part of individuals appearing before us of two things. One, the walkers and their discussion about cars running stop signs, and the other is coyotes. In the opinion of individuals in this community, they feel that part of the security comes from hazing of coyotes and that the security should be a participant in that. We will ask, as we were requested by one of our members here on the board, to have it divided as to what they look at in each mutual, because clutter seems to be a big thing that they seem to be reporting on. And that is an issue that needs to be taken care of, because I don't think security should be the clutter people. So this is what we do there. Please come and see us. Tell us what your concerns are. We're more than willing to listen to them and to address them. I don't know who our new chair will be with GRF, but we're looking forward to the next meeting, and the next meeting will be held on, hold on just a minute, February 25th.
At 1:30 here in the boardroom. Okay, yes, Director
Yeah,
Parsons.
all right. Can anybody that's on the board here, maybe in the audience, talk about the coyote problem? I noticed in the last Globe, that was a huge, huge problem.
There were
I
2
know-
letters in the last Globe.
Yeah, yeah.
2 letters.
And I know ever since I've been here, from 2014, over in Gate 8, especially up above the nursery, coyotes just run free. And people over there have started to defend themselves. And a lot of them, at least at that time, were single females. And coyotes would come up and just brush their legs, things like that. And that was not very significant back then. But now it seems to be really out in the open, and it's a big problem. Have we heard anything from the city?
What I can tell you is that there's an upcoming meeting that consists of the presidents of all the mutuals as well as GRF, the city manager, certain members of city council participate, as well as the Laguna Beach Animal Control. So there's another meeting coming up to discuss the issue and see what can and cannot be done.
Any date set for that?
The meeting date is set.
Next Wednesday.
Next Wednesday? Okay, thank you. I couldn't remember, but thank you. So yes, Director Moore.
I will tell you that when we used to have Petraeus at the city, actually at the county, for animal control, he was very, very aggressive and helped. Our new management there, the individual who's handling it, doesn't even call you back. So there's a great separation of what used to be and what is now.
Okay, thank you. All right. Future agenda items. Anybody have anything for future agenda items for us? Hearing none, we'll now go to director's comments. We'll start with Director Hopkins.
No comment.
Director Parsons.
Just for the CEO's area, if you have any influence at all with the Santa Maria problem on running stop signs, if you could work with them on that, that would be great. Other than that, great. Glad to be done with the meeting.
Director Park. No comment. Director Moore.
Yes, I would like to thank the history report. I had no idea that that's what Clubhouse used to be. It was quite an interesting enlightenment, I guess I should say.
Okay. Director Rain Sotek. Comment?
No comment except to belatedly wish everybody a Happy New Year.
Okay. Director Johnson.
No comment?
Director Fox.
No comment.
No. The only final comment I'll make is, once again, a reminder about our town hall next Wednesday, the 28th, 3 o'clock in the Performing Arts Center, to address all sorts of issues related to the fiber optic installation, DirecTV, cost to you as members, etc., and what to expect on installation and all of those kinds of things. So come prepared with all your questions.
Joe has her hand.
Who?
Joe.
Roe?
Yeah. Just correction on that meeting at City Hall. I believe it's tomorrow, Wednesday, tomorrow at 2 o'clock at City Hall regarding the coyote issue. Can we check on that?
That's a city meeting.
That's a city
so this
meeting.
is
Yes.
separate.
We're talking about a meeting here that takes place. It's a separate meeting here,
Oh,
right? We're not, in-
No, he's talking about coyotes, correct?
Yeah.
Talking about-
that's a city hall meeting, right?
yes.
That's not our meeting. No, we have a separate meeting here that those people come here, so
Okay. Well,
Okay.
I believe there's one tomorrow at City Hall, which will affect us as well, so.
here's the mayor. Let the mayor speak. The mayor,
Probably knows.
hopefully the mayor can shed light on that.
Yes, the coyote situation is not an agenda item. However, there's an open forum where people can come and talk about their concerns about the coyote
Tomorrow.
tomorrow at 2 o'clock. So it's not an agenda item. it's an open forum discussion.
Thank you. That answers that. All righty. Hearing nothing else, I'd like to thank everybody. It's 10:50. This is, I think, one of the earliest times we have finished a morning board meeting, so thank you, everyone. Thank you, audience, for your attendance. And based on that, 10:50, I will adjourn the meeting.
What time would you like to commence closed session at?
11:30.
Sure.
What are we going to do the extra 10 minutes?
No, you got 40 minutes.
No, but usually it's a half hour to go eat and stuff our faces and then start the meeting.
You want to start earlier? We'll start earlier. What?
Maybe we can have breakfast.